Hi friends and new friends, I'm Tao of Satoshi and you're watching Cash Alternative TV. Well, I'm sure you must have heard about the big news story of the day in world economics. That was India's demonetization. On December 8th, the government of India announced that all 500 and $1,000 rupee notes would cease to become legal tender as of the next day. And as you can imagine, this caused pandemonium on the ground and massive consequences for the Indian people. So today I'm here to talk to Poltergeist, and he's going to let us know about what the situation is like on the ground, and we're going to examine how a potential Dash economy could help this situation. Please enjoy. Okay, welcome Poltergeist to the Cash Alternative TV show. It's good to have you here.
Yes, hi. Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
It was hard to find a time that worked for both of us, right?
Yes, initially because of the time difference, it was a bit of a problem, but I'm good with this time. We are about 10 and a half hours apart.
Yep.
And I think that's okay. That's fine.
Okay, well, you mentioned that there was going to be background noise, but I don't hear any background noise. It seems to be pretty good.
That's because it's 10:40 p.m., 22:40 p.m. over here, and this particular street where I stay on, or where I'm currently located at, is a very quiet street. So if it was during the day, I assure you, you'd have a symphony in the background.
Okay, well, it's good. It's good that we chose this time then. So thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about the cash crunch, where you are in India, and
Yes.
how Dash could potentially improve the situation if we had Dash set up over there. So
Yeah.
I guess the first question I want to ask you is, how did you get into crypto in the first place?
Yes. So crypto is very new to me. When I say very new, I actually got into crypto via Bitcoin, and I had my first purchase in Bitcoin in about the second or third week of May this year, and over time I saw the price fluctuating, going up, coming down. There was also this great event that was going to happen to Bitcoin, which is the halvening, the Bitcoin halvening, and the prices were just going up. And then I made a few purchases over the period of a month. So over 4 or 5 weeks, I slowly started picking up Bitcoin. But then there was something about Bitcoin which was very cold to me. There was no, there was nobody else who like-minded people here. It was just somebody who I went over to and picked up Bitcoins, handed over the monies, and that was about it. So there was no camaraderie. There was no. So I was looking around, and all of a sudden I came across Amanda B. Johnson's videos on YouTube.
Yeah, she's very
And
famous.
a great job. And so then I said, hey, what is this thing? What is this thing called Dash? And I did a little more research, and I landed on the. I believe I went over to the Slack, the original Slack of Dash,
Okay.
and the moment I went in, I got somebody tipped me some Dash, and I was like, wow, what a warm community. This is something that I have been wanting for Bitcoin to do, but I guess Dash is where I'm going to be, and that's how I got into Dash, and I've been here ever since, and I'm really happy with the community and the various activities and the fora and the various channels that we use, that Dash uses. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, one thing that I noticed about Dash is that they're trying to pride themselves on having the technical ability of Bitcoin with the personality of Dogecoin.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
the way I describe the Dash community.
Okay. So I've apart from Bitcoin and Dash, I don't know of any. I'm sure there are a lot of them, but I have not really done a study. But I think dash is where I'm going to be. Definitely.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you here. So,
Thank you. Yeah.
where are you from?
Okay, so I'm located currently in Bangalore. This is the IT capital of India. It's the IT hub of India, and there are a lot of IT companies that have been set up either as offshore models or a lot of startups that are happening right now. And the climate is very nice. It's a cool climate. The elevation is about 3,500 feet above mean sea level, and it's a very nice kind of cool, calm climate. It's like it used to be called the pensioners' paradise. So the idea was that after you're done with all your work and you want to retire, you move down to Bangalore, and this climate will be suitable for you.
Okay.
So that's where I'm from.
So let's do a segue from that. So you say that the climate is cool, but I guess the political climate is very hot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Recently, with this demonetization, a lot of things have been thrown out of gear, and it's actually I look at it personally as a very sleek execution of something that had to be done a long time ago. There's been a lot of corruption at higher levels in India, and the people who suffer are the common man. And we have to go through the brunt of bribery, corrupt officials, and all that kind of stuff has kind of become entrenched in a lot of activities when you deal with governments.
Okay.
Because there is a whole set of people who do not subscribe to that at all, as in not to the view, but to corruption. So I'm not saying that all government officials are corrupt. I'm saying there's a vast majority that are like that in India, and I guess it's just a kind of a hand-me-down that the practice has been going on. But I think when our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has taken this action of demonetization, he has done a fantastic job, and he has literally cut the cord in one swift action. And that was exactly how it has to be done, because otherwise, if you give even a small area for maneuverability, it will just fall through. It won't happen, because that's how deeply entrenched it is over here.
Okay. But the short-term effects are pretty dramatic, from my perspective.
Yes.
I see it says, I read that 86% of the currency was eliminated, like 86% of the liquidity. And there's like long lineups at banks. There's like banks running out of money. The rupee's going down in value, so it's just a big mess right now, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. There has been a dearth of currency notes. This is basically, we had the 1,000 rupee note and the 500 rupee note, which was a high denomination note for us, and a lot of corrupt people were storing their cash using this for obvious reasons. You can store a value which is higher with just one single note. And after this demonetization that has happened, there was a big scramble from whoever was holding these stashes of cash, and they were going up to the banks, and it was just a big mess, because they had to. The reason they were going to the bank was that the route that our Prime Minister offered was that, okay, if you have any undisclosed cash income, you can take that cash with you to your bank and deposit it into your account. and in return you can withdraw based on certain parameters. You can withdraw some money. So everybody scrambled to the banks, and the banks, the staff were very helpful. All banks absolutely very helpful in working overtime, working on public holidays to realize the vision of our prime minister. And but the problem, like I said, corruption. A lot of these politicians have taken their stash, personal stash of money, and gotten it exchanged en masse, and therefore the new notes that were actually originally meant for the common man is now scooped up by these corrupt politicians.
Oh, I
So,
see. Okay.
so what happens is then there is a dearth of supply of of those notes, which adds to the problems that are already existing.
Okay. So the common man is getting left out in the cold, right? So I hear of people
Absolutely.
that can't get access to their money and they're starving, because of that, and it's because of the corrupt politicians, eh? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. What's happening is, like I said, they are just they are in cahoots with the managers, and the managers get a cut of this money that is undisclosed, and so the common man suffers because the bank manager will, instead of directing the money to the ATM, the automatic teller machine, he would then give the whole bundle out to the this person, and there's absolutely nothing remaining for the common man who legitimately wants to exchange not large but really small sums of money. Now,
Okay.
add to this is another problem, and that the ATMs that I was talking about, they had been calibrated in a particular fashion demonetization. Post demonetization, the calibration for the new notes had not been affected. So even though there may have been some notes that were legitimately ready to go to the ATM, to be transported to the ATM operators could not take take over those notes because their machines were not calibrated for that new 2000 rupee note.
Okay.
And so you see, so what happens is the physical dimensions are different of the new 2000 rupee note vis-a-vis the other older, the previous 1000 rupee note. And so
Okay.
what
So
used to happen, it just won't fit,
yeah,
you
that's
know.
something that I
And
didn't know. So that's good. Thank you for that
yeah, yeah,
information.
yeah, yeah. This so it doesn't fit, and then so there's again that adds to your problem, because now you have notes and you have a long serpentine queue at your at the door of your bank. You have ATMs at your disposal, but you can't use them because of this issue, right? So this was another added problem, and it's only now that the situation, at least in Bangalore and a lot of the southern parts of India, has kind of normalized. It's not like it's completely solved, but this problem has been reduced to quite a large extent. However, from my understanding of the northern part of India, there's still a lot of queues and a lot of it's just mayhem actually. It's just mayhem on every day at the bank's doorstep. People are struggling to get in, get out their money, and it's just chaos.
Okay. So yeah, that's with physical cash, and
Yeah,
we're thinking of a different currency today, and
yeah,
a potential Dash economy. I don't know if everybody who's going to be watching this will be familiar with Dash, but it's a digital currency that offers privacy and instant transactions. It's similar to regular cash, physical cash, but you can access it online.
yeah.
So it's great for people that cannot have access to banks because all they have to do is go on the computer and start their wet wallet on their desktop or on their phone, and they can make purchases online once it gets going. Like right now, it's not really set up a lot, but it has the tools to be able to do so. So I guess right now we're just going to look at how a potential Dash economy would be able to help India in this situation, all over the world basically. But for this episode, we're
Yes,
just focusing on India, how it would help them. So
sure.
yeah, so what the first thing about Dash that makes it popular over other coins is the fact that it has instant transactions.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like you correctly mentioned, it's just like cash. I hand you say a 100 rupee note, you have it with you straight away. It's the same thing with Dash. I transfer it using instant send to your wallet, and then you have it in a matter of a few seconds. Now, the advantage of that obviously is that you don't have to wait for hours or days to have the money into your account. Number one. Number two, I think the fees are awesome. It's next to nothing compared to a similar transaction. If you're doing a voluminous transaction, let's say you want to transfer cash to another account within the country, instead of using an electronic transfer via the Swift banking system, if we were to use the Dash system, the cost would be really low, as well as the famous instant send could happen, quick.
Okay, and the lineups that we saw at the banks would not have to exist because you would have your funds ready to go at any time in your wallet.
Absolutely. So there's no need to go to the bank and haggle with the manager and beg him to give you your cash. You can just go and you'll be in control of your own digital cash. Yeah.
What about security? Wouldn't you think that it would be not advantageous to have all your funds on a phone? Like, would somebody if somebody took your phone, would they be able to access it?
Yeah. So cryptocurrency in India is new. There are just four exchanges that have started trading in Bitcoin, not in Dash.
Yep.
Bitcoin seems to be the grandfather of everything, and therefore it is the first to market slash adoption here too. However, it's still very new. It's still very raw, and I remember when I made my first transaction, it was all new, and I played it everything by ear. And the good folks there helped me to actually realize my transaction. But that is besides the point. What I'm trying to say is that crypto as a cryptocurrency is new. Dash is really new. I mean, I do not know of anybody else in Bangalore or maybe even in India who is dealing with Dash. I'm probably the first person to actually deal with Dash in India. And having said that, your point about security, yes, the inherent security of Dash will really benefit people if they use this as a currency to exchange value. Cash, can be stolen, but then so can my mobile be stolen. But then if I take some, simple, rudimentary, common sense security steps, like move almost all or lot of my Dash out of that onto, let's say, paper wallets, I'm good to go, even if my phone is gone. I mean, I don't care. It's just 100 bucks, 100 rupees for me.
And all
100
Dash
rupees is
wallets are secured with a password also.
yes, they have a password. So that's and I'm sure moving forward, other wallet developers will integrate the fingerprint sensor directly into the Dash wallet. I mean, that's something that would be great if somebody can do that,
I
because
agree.
then
Yes,
even
we're in the early stages right now of Dash development. So if somebody were to do that, I'm sure that wallet would be very popular.
right,
So
right, yeah.
another thing is
So
that makes it like cash that other coins. Well, some coins have it, but Dash is trying to become a digital cash, so they're trying to have a little bit of every aspect of cash. But one of the cash aspects is privacy also, and Dash has this with private
yes,
send.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. All the transactions are private, so there's really no problem about trying to trace back or identify somebody. So it's quite private, and that would actually benefit a lot of a community which deals with mainly with cash. Actually, there are a lot of these small-time merchants in the typical marketplace here in Bangalore, and they would really benefit a lot with Dash. Actually, benefit because they don't have to carry their cash back home. They just have their handset, and they've done their day's work, and that's fine, I guess. And they'd really be secure. Yeah.
Okay, for the purposes of this video, we're not going to get into too many technical details. If anybody else
Yeah.
wants to find out any details about Dash, they can visit www.dash.org, and that will tell you technical details. Or you can join the Dash Slack, which is going to be in the description below. I also wanted to say, I wanted to mention too that you mentioned that all transactions are private, but they don't have to be. Only if it was private sent, then it can be private. But that's the advantage with Dash, is that there are some uses that would value transparency also, and such as the corruption that you mentioned, right? So like it would force leaders to be on the up and up with their transactions because they're viewable for anyone to see. Or for the people that value the privacy, they can also use it as private. So it's the best of both worlds.
Correct.
That's what I like about Dash too.
Yes.
And also, for the countries, this is not so much for India, but countries that suffer from extreme devaluation, this is not usually a problem with Dash because there's a set amount of currency units that will ever be produced. It's not like the central banks can go and print a lot more at their whim.
Yes. And I'm reading. I'm sure you are also aware. Apparently, Venezuela, I think, is in a big their currency is badly undervalued, and they've got a lot of inflation. And I've seen reports of people carrying cash by that wheelbarrow. They put it in a wheelbarrow and carry it. It's really sad actually that it has come to that stage.
It reminds me of Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Okay. So also it's because it's a peer-to-peer currency, and as you mentioned at the top of the show, I find that kind of brings people together. It's kind of a currency by the people for the people, So I think it's like I have a campaign that says Dash Nation, because it's a global nation and no borders. It's just worldwide, it brings everybody together. It's a really neat concept, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. And I encourage anybody who's watching the show to give it a try.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best part. You'd be in control of your cash and your money, and what could be better than that? It's your hard-earned money, and if you're in control of it, that's awesome.
And the one thing that I would say, and I'll be honest, and I'm into Dash, but the one thing that I can say is it's not that much usable for the common man at this point, is it?
Hello, sorry, I didn't get your last word.
Oh, okay, no problem. I said the one thing that I can say about Dash right now is that it's not really usable that well for the common man. Like for your grandmother to be understanding how to use it, it's not really that usable yet, is it?
Like I said earlier, say it is new over here. I would given an educated guess, I think it would take at least another 3 to 5 year time for crypto to really pick up, and hopefully Dash should be at the front of that wave because it's really easy to use. It's just a matter of getting the infrastructure down and most importantly, demonstrating and educating the people about about Dash.
Yeah, and also this is one thing that has me excited about Dash. In the digital currency world, they are kind of at the pioneering level because of their secondary masternode network, which enables it to bring the technology of evolution. And that basically is an access to your wallet anywhere in the world. There's going to be a decentralized API as part of the network, so you can access your wallet, your money from anywhere you go, and you don't have to have it on one device or this device. You can have it anywhere, and there's not going to be these long addresses that Bitcoin has. It's just going to be usernames. So you can send I can send to you Poltergeist, and you can send to me Tao Satoshi, There's none of these long addresses. It's going to be great, but it's going to be in the future that this is going to happen. And probably within the next 2 years.
Yeah. Yes, I'm really looking forward to that because and this thing that you mentioned about the autonomous organization, that really blew me away when I was going through Dash. When I migrated from Bitcoin to Dash, it really blew me away. I was like, wow, is this really even, is this for real? I mean, this is completely awesome. It's totally decentralized, and this is fantastic. Yeah.
I should mention for the viewers that might not be familiar with Dash that the instant send technology and the private send technology is available currently. So you can get into that right away, but the evolution is going to be in a couple of years' time. That's the future technology right now, but it's under development right now.
Yes.
So what other do you think are going to be some challenges for Dash to overcome in the near future?
Like I said, I think the most important thing is that if, at least here from the business community, that I did a small kind of 20% research before I met up with you just now. And the important thing that they are saying is, what is Dash? So it's completely new to them. So I was able to demonstrate the wallet and how it works. And they were saying that, look, this is awesome. I'd really like to get onto this. But the point is, after I have my Dash right now, I can't do anything with it. I need to convert it to Bitcoin, and then I need to get it to cash. So that bridge is something which is a bit of a challenge right now. But I'm sure that, that will work itself out pretty soon.
Dash is such an awesome technology. It's kind of frustrating, to be honest. Because it's so good, and everybody's like Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. But that's natural because that was the first one. But Dash would be so much better to use in a world economy situation than Bitcoin, just based on the technological advantages, and it's just a matter of getting that word out, having businesses accept it, and having consumers accept it. It's like a catch-22 right now. We have to work on both ends, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think if we are able to demonstrate to that community that, look, this is what it is, and that instance, and because they either work on cash or they work on credit cards. So credit cards, there's a whole slew of negatives that they have to. There's a lot of risk that's involved because I'm sure you're aware that money doesn't go to them immediately, and their account is not credited. If there's a discrepancy, then they have to pay additional charges, etc. All that kind of stuff happens, and Dash will just do away with all that. Just with one swipe, it will just do away with all that. It's awesome.
All right. So thank you for being on Poltergeist, for your viewpoints in India and helping me to describe a Dash economy, what it would be like for Indians.
Yes. Thanks for having me over, Tao.
Have a good day. Well, I guess I should say good night where you are.
Yes.
Take care.
Yeah. All right. Take care. Thanks.
For more information about Dash, please see the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode of Cash Alternative TV. Dash is the digital alternative to cash. Bye now.